येवकार तुमकां गोवा 365च्या खाशेल्या कार्यावळीत स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड. आयज आमच्या कार्यावळी भितर आसा गोंयचे चली जेणे एक हेल्थ सॅक्टरान म्हणटात तसो एक अमेझींग फीट अचीव केल्ली आसा टॅक्नॉलॉजी भितर. तर आमच्या कार्यावळीत आसात प्रिती महावीर जगदेव. प्रिती, वेलकम टू आवर शो.
Thank you.
Priti has developed something called human health monitoring. So it's a infrared thermography and artificial intelligence which monitors human psychological parameter. So it's something amazing feat she has achieved. So Priti, can you explain me what is human health monitoring using infrared thermography and artificial intelligence and how it will help the people?
Okay. So I would like to tell in simple words because I do not expect everybody to know the technical terms. So I will try to explain in layman language. So I'm making use of a technology called infrared thermography. Now, like we make use of mobile cameras or any normal camera to click photo in visual domain. So same way there is a thermal domain. If I have to tell it simple words, then okay, every object emits heat radiations. Now even we humans emit heat radiations, but if we want to see those heat radiations, then normal cameras cannot be used. So for that there is a different technology that we can use to capture the heat radiations emitted by the human body. So for that the technology that is involved is infrared thermography, and for that we make use of a thermal camera. And this infrared thermography is a new technology. I won't say very new, but not many people are working in this research area, not only in India but even outside India. It's not that common. So I'm so happy that in NIT Goa we have a thermography lab, and I'm fortunate to be working in one such lab under the guidance of my supervisor, Dr. Lalat Indugiri. So in our lab we make use of this infrared thermography for different purposes. Like this infrared thermography has many applications. The basic principle is that it captures the heat radiations. So we can use it for civil engineering purposes to detect cracks, because automatically the heat radiations of a defective surface and of a normal surface differs. So we use it for different purposes like agricultural applications. Now I'm more interested in biomedical applications. So I'm working on the biomedical applications using infrared thermography and machine learning. Now machine learning involves coding and all. So what I'm doing is, now simple example I'll give you. If at all we have fever, then what happens? Our body temperature increases, right? So that can be captured using a thermal camera. Now you all must have seen that at the airport they are detecting whether a human has fever or not using thermal camera. But we have a little high-end camera that is specifically used for research purposes. So one of the applications, like it has many applications even in biomedical field. Like it can be used for detection of breast cancer. I'm monitoring human physiological parameters, basically human respiration. Now what happens is, so I'm...
So basically you say infrared thermography, so it detects heat inside the human body. So during
emitted by the human.
So during this COVID time you can see there are, if you go to airport or any other offices, they use a thermal gun or the thermal screening.
Yes, so the reason I tell you because...
So how this technology is different than thermal gun and thermal screening?
No, it's the same. The thermal gun, thermal screening use infrared thermography. The main advantage of infrared thermography is that it's a completely non-contact method. Like if you go to hospitals, then you can see that if a person is hospitalized, then they connect the electrodes and all to his body, right? So these are contact methods, and contact methods are sometimes even invasive. Whereas this infrared thermography is completely non-contact. That means you do not have to come in contact with the thermal camera, and also it does not emit any harmful radiations.
Okay.
So it is non-contact and non-invasive. So it's like it is still in an infant stage, so we are researching on it.
So you are saying it detects heat radiation and convert it to temperature, displaying an image of the temperature distribution. Can you tell me how it works actually?
Yes. Now see, if we take a normal camera, what we do, we click your photo and we can see it on our phone, right?
Yeah.
So same way, when we make use of a thermal camera, I'll click your photo. So to visualize that, we need something. So we have a different software for that. So I'm making use of a FLIR software, and making use of this FLIR software, I can see you. Like I can see your image, but not in the visual domain, in the thermal domain. Like I can see your thermogram. Now, what I mean by saying I can see your thermogram is that I can see your image in different colors. Like if at all your this temperature is very hot, then it will appear as red in the image. And if your this region is very cold, then it will be shown as blue color. So for every temperature, there is a different color associated with it, and that we have to analyze and make some research findings. So I can see your thermogram. For that special software is there, and I am making use of a software called as FLIR software.
So how the artificial intelligence play its role in this technology, the technology developed by you?
Artificial intelligence is basically we have to feed data. Okay, in simple words, I'll tell you, it's like an artificial brain. We teach a small kid that, see, this is red color, this is blue color, and then next time he doesn't, like, automatically he will tell on his own.
It's basically human computer.
Yeah, so automatically next time it will tell, okay, this is red color and this is blue color. So same way we feed our thermal data, and just to determine like what is the type of data that has been fed, classify the data. So different, because now once we acquire the image, we have to process it. So for processing, I'm using different technologies like signal processing, computer vision, machine learning. So in general, I said artificial intelligence.
So in which field this technology will play a major role?
This technology, in all the fields it can play, because as I already
most
said,
important field according to you?
Most important field, a field which does not require contact, like medical fields, because contactless and harmless, it's good. And even like suppose a wire is there, and it's very hot. So to test it, we can make use of a thermal camera, because what happens, the other wires which are normal, they will appear blue. They will appear cold, but the wire which is already hot and it can get damaged, like short circuit, then it will appear red. So by just looking at its thermal image, we can tell that, okay, this wire has to be replaced because it is almost damaged. So for such purposes where we should not contact the body of the human and we do not need harmful radiations, thermography can be used. So research should be done in that domain.
So this is a hardware component or a software which you can install on any mobile or any computer, any such
It's a camera. It's a camera.
It's a camera.
Thermal camera. Yes.
So where was the technology developed? You said it was developed in National Institute of Technology, Goa. So
it
can
was
you
not,
give us?
The thermal camera was not developed. We have a thermal camera. We have brought it. So using the thermal camera, we can capture the data of different things and we can research on it. So we are using the thermal camera.
So the research was made in National Institute of Technology, NIT in Goa. So can you give us some details about the research, the development of this technology, the new research in NIT?
So I can tell about mine. So that's what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to monitor the respiration of humans using the thermal camera. Okay, I will tell you how. Now when we breathe, like if you place your hands on the nose, you'll notice that when we inhale and when we exhale, the temperature across the nostrils changes. Like when we inhale and when we exhale, the air that comes in and goes out is hot and then cold. Okay, so this heat variation is captured by making use of a thermal camera. And that, are you getting me? Yeah, so this temperature variation is nothing but the breathing signals. So we are trying to research in this area so that we can monitor the human respiration using infrared thermography.
So how it was developed, means my basic is how it was developed in NIT Goa. So I think it's a prestigious thing, the feat you have achieved, and also a prestigious thing to NIT Goa also, because Goa is also known as a tourism state. So when the technology is developed in Goa, so when we talk about the technology, the Goans means people think the Goa is only meant for pharmaceuticals, pharma companies and all. So when such types of technology developed in NIT Goa, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, so to be more specific, it's you cannot say technology, it's like we are researching in this area of using thermography for monitoring the health. So yeah, so we had to do a lot of research in that area, and we are still working on it, because if we want to make it like if we want to really get the final results and all, then it will require a lot of efforts, because it is still, infrared thermography itself is still in an infant stage. Like, not many people have heard about the technology, so the research is still going on. And the technology that is infrared thermography, that camera we have brought, and we are researching using that camera, using artificial intelligence and thermography. So for that we are
तर ही आमची चर्चा फुडें व्हरया, पूण त्या पयलीं घेवया एक ल्हानसो विसो. विसो उपरांत परत एकदा येवकार. आतां ही आमची चर्चा फुडें व्हरया. हाव यू थिंक अबाउट एक्सपेंडिंग युअर रिसर्च, युअर आयडिया अबाउट infrared thermography in other parts of India and also the foreign countries? So this technology, no, sorry, this research, infrared thermography can be game changer, as you said, in health, constructions and everything. So
it
how
has
you plan? How to expand it further?
I have not thought about expanding it as of now, because I'm still a student and I'm also new to this technology, and I am also exploring it. So yeah, so but after joining, I have got to like after I came to know about this technology, I got to know, like, as I'm studying, that it has a lot of applications and we should work in that area. So I did not plan as such like what can be done, but at present, as a PhD student, I'm still researching on this area.
So after completing research, you think it can be a game changer?
I cannot say it at this, meaning I cannot predict.
Yeah.
If I say it's a game changer, it's a very big statement, and I cannot make such big statements without valid I mean, I hope that my research will be very useful for the community. Of course, that is the intention of every researcher, but I cannot make such claims directly. But of course, I'll work towards it.
You are also Vice President of the SPIE student chapter of NIT Goa.
Yes.
So can you explain about your this post?
Yes. So first I'll tell you the full form of SPIE. It is International Society for Photonics and Optics, and it has its headquarters in USA, and it has chapters in all the countries, like all over the world. So in prestigious colleges, basically the SPIE chapters are there, and like they need to have good faculties who are working in this area, who have good research labs in this area. So good reputed colleges have this SPI chapter, and one such chapter is there in NIT Goa. NIT Goa is still a new NIT, but still it has this chapter, and our chapter head is Saidi Reddy sir. So I was elected this year as the vice president. We have a team basically, and what we do is the main aim of SPI is what? It's a basically organization, non-profit organization, which encourages research in the field of optics and photonics. And if you see that in Goa, not many people know about optics and photonics.
Yeah.
I myself didn't know. After I joined NIT, I got to know about this optics, photonics research. So finally, we all are humans. What we should do, we should try to encourage the younger generation in the field of research, so that even they get to know. Like, see, I didn't know that. So it's my responsibility that, okay, now I have come at this stage. So now it's my responsibility to share this knowledge with the people of Goa. So what we conduct many activities. Like even previously, SPI student chapter of NIT Goa has conducted science exhibition, then guest lecture talks, and conferences like research conferences. We collaborate with reputed institutes from different colleges across India, and we conduct many events. So this year what happened is Corona was there, so we could not, like we had many plans. We even get funding from the SPI. This time in fact we got a equity, diversity and inclusion grant. So that is to support gender equality in the field of science technology. So what we do is we make use of that funding and we conduct many activities, outreach activities. This time because Corona was there, we could not implement our plans. So what we did, we conducted all the activities virtually. Like we conducted essay writing competition about gender equality in STEM. Then we featured different women who are successful in the field of STEM from different states, not only from Goa, from different states. Also, when Corona is not there, that time we visit schools and we talk to the school children and we tell them that, see, there is a technology, optics, photonics. In simple language we try to tell them, so that from young age itself they get interested in this field.
So SPI means sharing information and knowledge to others.
SPI is a non-profit organization whose main aim is research in the field of optics and photonics. So it gives a lot of funding also. Like now this August I was supposed to go to America to present my work. I have already presented my work in Brazil. Like last year I had got selected among 50 researchers from around the world with complete travel grant, and I had gone and presented my work to Brazil. This year I was supposed to go for a SPI conference to it was at San Diego, but again because of Corona I could not go. So they conduct many activities. We have different conferences where we can present our research ideas, because see, research cannot be done by a single person. We need to collaborate with different researchers. We need to exchange ideas. We need criticism. Like we need to know what is the correct direction that we can follow. It's a continuous process. Like always improvement can be done. So conferences are conducted by them where we can go collaborate with them. So, and at the chapter we on our for Goa we conduct many activities, especially for the school.
So you went to Brazil, also visited Brazil, and you were among 50 researchers to present the work. So can you tell us some experience about it, your experience?
Brazil experience, it was an amazing experience because I hardly go out of Goa, so it was directly out of India I had gone, and I got to meet researchers from around the world. They were working in optics and photonics field, and everyone had a different experience. Everybody had a different viewpoint and different ways in which they solve a similar problem. So it's like I got to interact with people from my research community who have different ideas, and they were from reputed institutes. Like from America I met professors. I got feedback from them. Then I met Brazil professors from reputed colleges, and I also presented my work. Even I met other PhD students, so we could collaborate. And now also if we have to discuss anything, we discuss. So basically, it was a very good experience.
So you are also involved in social work. You also said you went in rural areas, created awareness
Yes,
on the education.
I have
So
gone to school not only through SPI. Yes, through SPI also I work, and on my own also. I'm a person who likes to interact with people, and like if I know something good is there, then I want everybody to know about it. I do not like to hide things. If I know that okay, there's some opportunity somewhere, I'll make sure that I'll go and share it with the people. And I have been born and brought up in Goa. I have seen in NIT Goa what all research opportunities are available. So I feel it's my responsibility to share it with the younger generation. So I like to go to schools. I have visited Father Agnel Polytechnic, then even Government School of Kale. I go there because they are small children and they pick up things very quickly. So I have told them that see, education is important, and I have shared my experiences. Even in Father Agnel, I told them about
yeah.
my this area
So
and all,
Preeti,
just to
you can be inspiration to next generation also. So what to
like,
want to give the message to those aspirants who want to develop their career in technology research and also photons and
okay.
opticals.
Okay, so first of all, okay, what advice I'll give? I'm not so great to give advices, but whatever I feel, I'll tell. First of all, I get to hear many times that now people say, I read many jokes also on FB that engineering has become very
Yeah,
common and all.
yeah.
Many, it's like very common, no scope. Like many times I hear, but I want to tell one thing: no career line or no field is good or bad. It's not like arts is better, science is better, or anything. This is, I'm telling in general that whatever path you take, give your best. You don't have to bother like what people say that this has no scope, that has no scope. No, you are interested in a particular field. I'm not forcing everybody to go in technology field. I'm just saying you see what is good for you. If you feel this field is good for you, you know that you will be successful in this field, you're passionate about that field, then go for it and give your best. Because no matter what field you choose, if you consider it as your passion, then you will surely succeed. And if you ask me about technology field, if you have the skills, if you are passionate about your work, then surely you will have a good career. You should not choose some career path just because your friend has chosen or because your
Yeah.
relative has chosen. You see deep within you what is your passion and choose that career path. And especially girls also, I want to tell that see, career is important.
Yeah.
After all, in life, this is what I feel.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is my viewpoint in life. The only permanent thing for everybody is your identity. What is your identity? It is permanent. That's what never leaves you. So you should work towards it and try to create a good
Yeah.
identity for yourself. Finally, that is what
Yeah.
matters. It's the only permanent thing. And you should learn to dream big. You
Yeah.
should learn to dream big. You should not get scared to dream big. Dream big, but work towards achieving that dreams.
Yeah.
You will encounter many failures. Of course, you will never get success without failure. You will encounter failures. You will encounter criticism. People might say that you are doing this, it is impossible. Don't do it. Don't listen to others. If you are passionate about it, you should dream big, have confidence in yourself, work hard, and travel your own journey alone. Then I'm telling confidently that you'll surely be successful.
Yeah. प्रीती, इट वॉज नायस टॉकिंग यू. तर तुमी पळयलाच आसतले प्रीती बरोबर आपलो एक्सपिरियन्स सांगलो. तिणें आपल्या रिसर्च फिल्डान कितें एक पावल मोठें पावल फुडें घेतला तेजेर एक भाश्य केलें. प्रीती, वी थँक यू फॉर कमिंग नो शो अँड sharing some knowledge on this technology.
I'm also thankful that you all considered me capable enough to give a talk on your renowned show. So I also feel deeply humbled and thank you.
तर आमची स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड कार्यावळ हांगा सोंपता. पळयत रावात गोवा 365.